All right, so this is new. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Today's October 1st. This is when I'm starting my little experiment on my theory that the gut biome is actually what is causing a lot of the cravings and issues like depression and anxiety with me and other people who are in recovery. Um, I've found a lot of papers, and hopefully we can go through this journey and figure out what's going on. I'm sure my videos will get better. I guess it's a log, and I'm sure I can use it to rant and rave. So, um, basically, I've been in and out of recovery for about 20 years. I have been through 12-step programs. I've been through um, 5 treatment centers. I've, you know, been through quite a few things trying to figure out what's wrong, what's going on. It wasn't until my fifth one that actually dealt with dual diagnosis, which I think is also the future of recovery, where basically mental health and addiction go hand in hand. It's not a separate kind of instance. Um, and that did help. I didn't go on medications. When I left, I had tried antidepressants before. They never worked. They always caused this insane brain fog where it just felt like I couldn't think or do what I needed. So I have been trying to figure out what it is that makes me and others like me different. So I don't want anyone to go through the hell that I went through. If I can prevent that or keep them from going through the lengths that I went to. I'll say I'm insane. I don't lie. I try never to lie, and I just hide it really well. But I've seen the struggles that a lot of us go through, and hopefully my research and this experiment will lead to something bigger. And maybe one day we'll treat addiction in a whole different way. And like I said, this is my first video. I've never done this before, so really kind of nerve wracking. Um, I guess a few other things is that I have been trying to get on naltrexone because it is, helps with alcohol cravings besides opioid, which I've never had a problem with. I've only been an alcoholic. I'm not very exciting in that way. I've known people who've done everything, and I'm not even close. I've done alcohol and I've done marijuana, which sadly doesn't work on me. I wish it did. I'd like to know what it's like to be high once. I have done shrooms. That was fun. Wasn't super exciting. Um, my poor friend, she had a bad trip. She freaked out, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. Um, I'm gonna probably be rambling a lot in these. So, um, right now, I currently live in I rent a room in a house. There's 3 other guys. It's kind of cool. Each floor is kind of its own like apartment, I guess you would say. I came from an Oxford house. I love my guys. It was a interesting experience. Very, very um, stressful at times because you don't know what's going to happen, and yeah, kind of hard to work on recovery when you're trying to keep things smooth and running. I'm a very type A personality. That's just how I am. Kind of a control freak. Um, I admit it. I don't lie. I just want things to work smoothly. I listen to people. Uh, I learned a lesson when I was training people one time, and I said something, and a lady looked at me and said, I'm not stupid. And I realized that's exactly what I'm portraying, and that's wrong. And from then on, I never try to do that again. It's funny looking in this camera. One side of my face is really different than the other. Don't see that in the mirror, but they say that's kind of because your brain can make up for how we see things. And these glasses like to shine. All right. Um, yeah, I don't know what to do. I'm starting off slow. I try to do something called invoking the rite of discipline. It's a I half-assed it, so it's not working right. It's more of a meditation to try and get yourself ready to make major changes. Um, and I'm not strong enough yet. I still got so many issues. I'm like trying to give up, sugar and carbs and all that because the gut biome, they love it, and the bad ones do, and the fungus too. There's H. pylori and Candida albicans and so many others that I'm learning about. Like I said, I'll jump around a lot because I have ADD and my brain never focuses on one thing. Makes research kind of hard because I'll research 5 things at once in all different areas. So what I'm hoping is that by changing my diet, introducing probiotics, and getting medications for this is really hard. Okay, so I got tested for Candida albicans because I knew I had it. I've had thrush in my mouth before. It comes back. It's obviously there. It's actually really common. And so I wasn't sure if my doctor would give me the test because I've had issues with a lot of doctors that don't want to test. They don't want to kind of be more proactive. And I think that's a sad thing. And I think that's hurting a lot of people because, I think if someone goes in and says, hey, I got this issue, I think an MRI would be a good idea, I think the doctor should say, sure, let's get you in. It shouldn't be like, well, I have to find a way to justify it. It's like, let's see if there's something wrong before it becomes a problem. I've got so much stuff to say. I'm sure there's going to be a million of these if I even post them. So, what else? In a way, this is kind of therapy for me because I guess I don't know. I have a therapist, but I guess I need more. I used to write a lot, but I can't because my shoulder's messed up. It sounds stupid, but for some reason when I write, my arm goes like weak and this pain comes in my shoulder, so this might be a better option. What else? So I did get tested for the Candida albicans. Came up positive. I'm still trying to understand the numbers because I've been in the medical field for years. I left because of a lot of problems I saw, and I'm not an expert in everything, and I don't plan to be. I'll never pretend I am. And if I don't know something, I'm sure as hell going to ask someone or let you know I don't know. I'll try and find out. It's one of the worst things I've seen in society is people don't admit they don't know. They sit there and they make all these issues, and it's like, if you don't know, let's find out. Let's not make it an issue. So, my room is, for me, perfect. Like, I don't need a big room. I don't need a big house. I don't need money. I just need enough to survive. I'd like to have money, not to be rich, but to be able to finance my research and really make a change in people's lives. Because if this spreads out, which a lot of the research is already showing, people are already on the same path. I'm just some pain in the ass out there who's helping to make it more prevalent. Sorry, I'm watching myself in the camera. It's just weird. Anything else? I did get, I was prescribed Ritalin. I went to my PCP. I presented a case. I did the research. I was in psychology class, and the professor, who I like dearly, very, very much. I'm sure I drove him crazy because I asked questions like constantly, and this is who I am. His wife had been diagnosed in the 40s, in her mid 40s, early 40s, with ADHD. She recognized a lot of the symptoms, and when he explained it, I was like, that sounds really familiar. So I went ahead and I got a book, which I can't remember the name, but when I find it, I'll definitely put it on there. Just everything clicked. It was like, oh my goodness, no, I didn't have the hyperactivity. But then again, I was kind of a quiet kid, I guess introverted, but for some reason I'm actually really extroverted in ways and really introverted in other ways. And so I got on Ritalin, and was really disappointed because I wanted to get titrated to the right level before the quarter was over. I got in a couple weeks early, and we started off really low because I was worried. I didn't know how it would affect me. I didn't know, am I going to change personality? What's going to happen? Unfortunately, we didn't titrate quickly. We did it very slowly, and it wound up being exactly what I feared, which was we waited till the end of the quarter, and I had to keep, emailing my PCP and saying like, hey, let's try this dose, let's try this dose, this is working, this isn't working, and it's weird because it's not like anything I thought it would be. It doesn't make things like super clear. It makes things a little clearer. It makes my thoughts a little more focused, but You know, people are like, "Oh, I had trouble sleeping on it." I'm like, I do not. I lack that ability. So right now, I'm trying to figure out what I can do until I get my H. pylori test back. Um, I did have a breath test. I requested a urea breath test. It came back negative, and false positives are really common if you, especially if you have citric acid, which is in everything. That's going to be in your energy drinks, your sodas, a lot of food actually. That'll throw it off. So I went for the stool sample, which no, it's not fun. It's gross. But you know what? Hey, it could be worse. So waiting for results on that, and I've never had a full antibiotic fungal prescription to deal with these two issues. Now, H. pylori may not come up. I highly doubt it won't, but it seems like that's something that is one of the issues. But I could be wrong, and that's one of the things. I don't know. This is in a way how we can do a form of science. It's self-experimentation. Not always good, drugs, but it is a way to see if this will work. And like I said, I got ADD. My thoughts are always scattered. Even now, I've taken my medication a little while ago. I had half a cup of coffee. No energy drinks today, so I'm not here. Even though they've got caffeine, it's obviously something else in the energy drinks that are doing it. I don't drink the ones with sugar. I drink sugar-free. It's a can with a star on it. It's white. I won't say the name because I don't know how that works. Yeah, really weird, but yeah. Well, I'm sure I'll be on later. I got so much to say. I have so much to learn. I got older, and guess what? I don't know shit. If I could go back in time, yeah, it'd be such a weird conversation. Well, that's it for now. I'm going to try and figure out kind of some protocols to do, blood pressure, glucose testing. I got urine strips to check protein levels. That's another thing. My kidneys are kind of shit right now because, um, I don't know, the protein levels are really high. And I thought it might be rhabdomyolysis. I cannot pronounce it. Um, but my shoulder. It's funny. I saw this picture and it's a drawing, and it's a guy's shoulder inflamed and like him sitting there in pain. I'm like, hey, I'm like, so I'll get this real quick. I had decided I had energy one day, which is cool. It happens every once in a while. Usually it's the chemical with rocks, something in a can, an energy drink. Um, and I decided to replace the sprayer on the kitchen sink. I was underneath there for hours. It shouldn't have been that hard, but it was on there incredibly. It was just tough to get off, and the one that I bought turns out didn't fit properly. So, but after that, I became really nauseous. I did spray some WD-40 on a bolt, and I might have been huffing that for a while, and that's probably part of it because I no longer. Smell of WD-40 does not make me like it. I used to think it was a good smell. So, but I got really nauseous, and I started throwing up, and that kind of was something that had been happening beforehand, but it stopped and it started coming up again. It stopped now, but went to the ER, and they did some blood tests, and they also did a ultrasound, and my pancreas might be having issues. We never really got to that exactly, and my gallbladder. He said it was contracted, so that was another issue. My mother had her gallbladder removed, and so I'm trying not to do that. Because side note, one thing I've learned in medicine is that we don't always look at things properly, and we assume things that aren't true, like the appendix has no purpose. That's wrong. So we know now that it does, and we shouldn't be removing it. And if it's something that's inflamed, we got a problem. That's all part of the gut biome and how our system works. So I did have high CK levels, but not high enough to justify any kind of emergency or admission. So I did get a referral to a nephrologist, which I'll be seeing this week, to see what's going on. I'm hoping that who I'm seeing is someone who is willing to listen and isn't going to get defensive if I ask questions. Because sometimes maybe it's the way I ask them. I don't know, but I've had doctors who I ask something and they get very defensive, like I'm challenging them, and it's like, look, I'm not. This is not my point. It's not to challenge you. It's help me learn. And maybe you need to learn something too. It's like you don't know everything. Stop acting like you do. So, okay. I think that's good for now. We'll see how this video plays. I wonder if the audio is going to match. And we'll go from there.